The Soviet-Afghan War. Soviets invade, rebels fight, and liberate Afghanistan. In 1978 Afghanistan, the country was dealing with a lack of government. Because of this void, the Communist People's Democratic Party had seized government power, and the country was renamed the Democratic Republic of Afghanistan. Nur Muhammad Taraki established leadership of the country and imposed land reforms that limited the amount of land a single family could own. In 1979, the U.S. had a fair presence in Afghanistan but scaled it down after the murder of the kidnapped U.S. ambassador. Also during this time, the Soviet Union had given a fair amount of new military aid to Afghanistan, so Soviet troops were sent to support the new communist government. Not long after this, Afghan soldiers attempted a mutiny in Herat, massacring Soviet citizens living in the area. President Taraki soon found himself in a power struggle with Hafizullah Amin, a politician who had gained much support to take over as prime minister. Taraki was forced to name Amin prime minister, which he was very unhappy with. On a trip to Moscow, Taraki was believed to have been told by Soviet President Leonid Brezhnev to eliminate Amin. Taraki arranged a meeting with Amin where he attempted to have him assassinated. This attempt failed and Taraki was killed in the violence. To combat the growing Soviet presence in Afghanistan, a rebel insurgent group called the Mujahideen was established in the region. This group had become quite large in a short period of time, and because of this, Amin required more Soviet support. The U.S. National Security Advisor flew to Pakistan to rally the Mujahideen to take back Afghanistan. He travels to a group of Mujahideen preparing for war and gives them a pep talk to let them know America is on their side.
We know of their deep belief in God, and we are confident that their struggle will succeed. You know, that land over there is yours. You'll go back to it one day because your fight will prevail and you'll have your homes and your mosques back again because your cause is right and God is on your side.
The Soviet Politburo was fearful of an Iranian-style revolution in Afghanistan and was weary of Amin's secret meetings with U.S. diplomats. The Soviets ordered more troops into Afghanistan and stormed into the Taj Beg Palace, assassinating President Hafizullah for sympathizing with America. Shortly after, the Soviets installed Babrak Karmal as Amin's successor. In 1980, multiple Mujahideen groups were supported with money and arms by the US, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia to fight against the Soviets and DRA allies. Because of this, the Soviet Union sent 80,000 more soldiers to occupy Afghanistan. US President Jimmy Carter was outraged by this and boycotted the 1980 Summer Olympics set to take place in Moscow. The following interview is of a Soviet veteran who fought in the Soviet-Afghan War for 5 years against the Mujahideen.
Такой там войны-то и не было. Мы входили, и многие там жители нас приветствовали, афганские. Но мы знали, что там есть противоречия внутри Афганистана. Там, в одной партии, между течениями существует там противоречия. Но мы думали, что мы нашим присутствием просто стабилизируем ситуацию в прошлом году. Нам говорили, здесь смысл наших боевых действий заключался в том, чтобы прийти в какой-то населенный пункт или провинцию и там помочь афганскому руководству установить ту власть, которая существовала в Афганистане. Больше как она дальше была. Для того, чтобы ее установить, нам вот ближайшие горы или провинции, или другие, то, что кто оказывает, кто мешает установлению этой власти, вот, их сломить.
In 1981, two Mujahideen coalitions are formed, the moderates and the fundamentalists. Consequentially, the Mujahideen forces become more organized and effective. The following video is raw footage from the war that can serve as an accurate representation for what life was like during the conflict.
Background cover, background cover.
More than 5 million Afghans were displaced as a result of the war, and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev publicly stated his wishes to end the war. By 1988, the DRA, USSR, US, and Pakistan have signed peace accords, and the Soviets began pulling out troops from Afghanistan. In 1989, the Soviet Union had announced the departure of its last troops, thus ending the Soviet-Afghan War, although the Mujahideen would continue to fight the Afghan government until 1992.
This convoy was 40 miles long, constantly bunching up, then thinning out, to concentrate firepower at danger points along the 300-mile route to the Soviet border.
The mood among these Soviet soldiers is one of immense relief at getting out unscathed. They won't stop now until the Soviet border. This is their last glimpse of Afghanistan.
When they first came down this road in December 1979, few Russians realized it would take more than 9 years to get back again. Afghanistan has been a Soviet military nightmare.
Osama bin Laden was a Mujahideen fighter during the war. After the war, he was unhappy with the U.S. presence in Afghanistan and started the radical terrorist group Al-Qaeda to spread anti-U.S. propaganda in the Middle East. This hatred influenced the chain of events that eventually led to Al-Qaeda fulfilling the 9/11 disaster.